Welcome to our podcast, Fuck the Diet Cycle, with myself, Lauren Knight, and Abby Lodge. This podcast is for you if you're ready to end the diet cycle. So grab yourself a cuppa, get comfy, and let's jump straight into this week's episode. We want to talk to you about the story that is told of weight gain after weight loss, and we are going to do some myth busting. So we want to show you that it is possible to end the diet cycle and maintain forevermore, with a few hints and tips on how we personally do that as well.
Yeah, so one of the most common things that you will hear within any weight loss plan, I don't care what it is, don't care what you're doing, whatever, people will say to you, you're just going to gain all that back twice as fast and twice as much. That is only going to happen if you return, the key word here is to when people say when you start eating normally again. That normal that they are referring to is the normal that is keeping you where you are today, overweight, unhappy. In order for things to change and to successfully end that diet cycle, things have to change. Your habits have to change. Your lifestyle has to change. You don't automatically gain all the weight if you have learned along the way your triggers, you have learned about your responses to certain foods, you have learned about your mood around certain foods and all things like that. You won't automatically regain weight because you're going to be more mindful of these things. And even when you go on holiday or Christmas or, I don't know, Great Aunt Flo's bloody birthday bash that, you know, she has to give you 10 bits of cake, you're not going to gain weight and you don't have to go back to square one every single time. We have a buffer. We allow ourselves to enjoy food and remain mindful.
So it's about finding that balance and understanding that you are allowed to enjoy food, but from a balanced way. So for example, you've got 3 events coming up in 1 week. How on earth do you maintain your weight during that week? I'm telling you now, you can, but what you need to do is understand what event means the most to you, where you're going to let your guard down that little bit, and the other events, how you're going to hold that back and balance those days. So for me, if I was going out on a coffee date with a friend, a lunch date with my mum, and then a party at the weekend, well, the chances are the party is going to be the one where I'm going to let my hair down. There's going to be alcohol. It's going to be a lot harder to balance that day. So therefore, the coffee date means that I stick to a cup of tea rather than having a hot chocolate with cream and marshmallows on top. And the lunch date, I look in advance at the menu and know what I'm having so that I can limit that, allowing myself to let my hair down at the party at the weekend, because that is balance. If I decided to go crazy at every single one, completely lose my guard, then guess what? I'm going to gain weight that week. And it's not about that. You cannot consume everything you want at every single event, every single day, because that's what you here in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. And you touch base on there on like working out what kind of means the most to you and things like that. That doesn't mean to say that on the days leading up to said party, we're going to use that party, you restrict yourself so damn much that you don't practically eat a thing, so that on that day you can go absolutely crazy, because that is binging and restricting, are simply putting yourself back into that cycle. All you're going to do is prioritize that protein throughout the week or whenever this event is, still having your regular meals, still having, you know, your normal balanced diet, but allowing making better choices at these things so that when you do go to that event, you are able to let your hair down just that little bit more. And it's about finding that balance in between, because I know for me, that was a really hard thing, was actually thinking, well, I've got an event coming up. Like, for example, going out for dinner, and it was like a really nice restaurant that I would just won't eat all day because then I can go crazy. No, because I'm going to go to that evening. I'm going to be absolutely starving, ravenous. I'm not going to be able to ever control what I'm going to have. I'm literally just going to go crazy and overindulge. I'm going to feel rubbish. Chances are I'm then going to say, fuck it, it's a Saturday. I'm going to go home and eat some more chocolate or whatever. Then it's Sunday. well, you can't rein anything in on Sunday, right? You have to start on Monday. And then you're just stuck in that cycle. We have to find that balance. And I know we always talk about balance, but when you find that balance of your life, you might be a real social butterfly, and that's absolutely fine. You still can then balance everything, but it's working out where means most to you and to overindulge that a little bit more.
And the more you do that, the stronger and easier you will find it. So to begin with, you're going to need a lot of that support from your consultant or however you're losing weight, but you're going to need that support to help you plan ahead, to help you understand what balance looks like. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And now I don't even realize that I'm actually doing it. It's just done. But like Abby said, we cannot go into that mindset of restrict. Now I'm going to go all for it. And you see it happen all the time. You see people saying, oh, I go on holiday next month, so I'm going to put myself on a really strict eating regime so that I can go to this all-inclusive holiday and eat everything in sight. Well, what's going to happen there? Your body is going to think, oh my goodness, what is she or he doing? And it's going to hold on to everything you're putting in. So instead of being able to deal with that food intake and just balancing it out, it's going to hold it and turn it into fat. What's going to happen? You're going to have a major weight gain, and you're going to come home and you're going to go on a restrict again. And that is diet mentality, and that is yo-yo dieting. And this is exactly what myself and Abby are proving to you that you can end. Learning how to balance, having those 3 nutritious meals a day, regardless of an event, regardless of a holiday, will mean that you don't have these crazy losses and crazy gains. It's about having that maintenance in the middle where you can still enjoy food and feel great in your own skin without constantly saying, no, I can't do this, no, I can't do that, because you absolutely can. You just need to learn how. That brings us to the end of this episode, knowing that you can end that diet cycle, putting these things into practice and seeing how you feel being in control. Thank you for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media using the links below. And don't forget, new episodes come out every single Sunday.